Welcome to the WRC podcast. I'm your host, Katrina Marie, and you're in the right place. Here at the Well-Rounded Counselor podcast, what you can expect is to learn, shift your thinking, and gain personal and professional growth. And if you have not yet done so, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another podcast episode. The conversation starts now. Welcome to another episode of the Well-Rounded Counselor podcast. My name is Katrina Marie, and I'm so excited to have you guys here with me today. If you're new to the work that I'm doing, welcome. You're in for a real treat today for today's episode. I haven't done a solo episode in quite a while, so stay tuned till the very end because I have an amazing announcement to share with each and every one of you. Now, if you have been following me for quite some time, you may have known that I recently threw up a LinkedIn post, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But before I do, if you haven't heard, I have opened the doors to my Confident Counselor program. It is a 3-month intimate experience where you get to work one-on-one with me, and it is a game changer, you guys. There's nothing like it. There's no accreditation program out there like it. There's no certification, master's degree. That is the vibe that I'm going for. I'm going for experience, adding value to your life, giving you momentum, clarity, movement, getting unstuck, and just making sure that you have everything you want and more, because it is possible, it is available. And I'm going to get into more of the mindset and energetics and discussion around that today with this post that I shared with you guys. It's gotten so much traction, so much feedback, so much love, so much adoration. And the last few days, I really was just like, I got to talk about this on my podcast. And normally I don't spend my weekends doing this. Normally I enjoy my weekends. I take the time off, but it was really weighing on my heart. And I felt the call, the pull to talk more about this because I know there's somebody out there who really needs to hear this message, and it's just going to deeply resonate with you. And if you're not following me on LinkedIn, I just thought that this would be a great opportunity for you to also hear this in another forum or social media capacity. So welcome everybody. Again, my name is Katrina Watson. I have been a college counselor for nearly 20 years. I'm also a author, podcast host, clearly. I also have some online courses that I teach. I do coaching, mentoring, all of the above. And yes, you probably think I don't sleep, but I do. I absolutely do. And so I teach all about my method and everything in my program. That's why it's called the Confident Counselor, because it's not just about learning nuts and bolts of counseling, but it is really about balancing and nurturing your work-life balance and creating the momentum and the X factor and all of that in my program. So the post that I want to talk about is something where logic, reasoning doesn't even make sense, because if you are like me in any capacity, or if you're not like me in any capacity, this still will be very relevant for you. And I want to talk about a time that you may have taken a bold move where something just didn't make sense, but you did it anyway. Okay. So for me, I moved to Dubai in 2013. I was living in Los Angeles. I'm born and bred in the States, in California. And that's all I knew. I knew Southern California inside and out. That was where I was from. That is the environment, the circumstances, everything that I was growing up in. And I don't know. I just always knew since 2009, when I studied abroad in Italy, that I wanted to work in international education. It didn't make sense. I was just on a study abroad trip. I literally thought that this is it. Like, I want everybody to experience study abroad. It is the best thing ever since sliced bread. It is magical. It is epic. It is life-changing. It adds so much value to your character. And I just thought, I need to help other people do this. I just know deep down, this is what I want to do, and I don't know how to make this happen. So when intuition literally made no sense at that time, I just went with it and I kept that vision so alive. So in 2013, I moved from Los Angeles to Dubai, and within 3 weeks of getting a job offer from a non-credible source, which was Craigslist at the time, it sounds so crazy. I got a job off of Craigslist. I was living in Dubai. I was living in LA. I was looking at jobs in different parts of the world. I got a job offer in Dubai from this random dodgy, sketchy post on Craigslist. And within 3 weeks, I was on a plane to Dubai. Like, What? Never having visited the region, the Emirates, the Middle East, never really being familiar with the culture, nothing. Like it literally made no sense, you guys. So I want to take a pause here and ask you, like, was there a time when you just had this inner knowing that you felt like this is it, this is for me, this is what I want to do, this is meant for me, this is available for me, this is who and where I need to be, these are the people, circumstances, place, moment, because we all have had it. If you've tuned into that, if you leaned into that moment, that feeling, that gut instinct, it's happened to us. And it's funny enough, it's our subconscious mind guiding us into the directions that we keep telling ourselves that we're valuable, we're worthy, this is for us. It's calling us for something bigger than what we can even explain. So just wanted to pause there for a second. But my background is nothing, it doesn't even relate to the life I'm living now today. So the life that I'm living now today is far from where I came from. I came from a low income single parent home. It was very broken. I literally had no guidance growing up. Most holidays I spent by myself, and I remember growing up pretty much just trying to figure out how to cook for myself, do laundry, figure out how to just understand the world. I didn't really have anybody guiding me. I just kind of existed. And I remember once that my family friend had asked me, what do I want to do when I grow up? And I said, I want to be a waitress in Europe. Like, what? I want to be a waitress in Europe. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. Because all I knew at the time as a teenager, I was just waiting tables. That was my first job. I got a job in a Mexican restaurant as a little waitress. And I thought, oh, that's what I'm destined to do. I mean, I had gone to Europe on a school trip. Thank God I had that opportunity. And I thought, oh, wow, I love Europe. That's amazing. I had the travel bug and I'm just going to be a waitress and that sounds cool. And that obviously didn't happen. And growing up in a low income single parent household with little to no guidance, nobody asking me what my dreams and aspirations were, no one there to help me with learning how to finance my life or talk about going to college or getting a master's degree, that those discussions just didn't exist. I'm a simple girl from Southern California, Redondo Beach to be exact, and nobody in my life was even really traveling to anywhere besides Canada and Mexico. Like traveling abroad to Asia, Middle East, Europe, Australia, these were not conversations we were having because around me, nobody had the money for it. Nobody had the exposure to it. And so it literally made no sense when I got this job to go to Dubai because people around me were like, what? Where is that? And at the time, Dubai was not on the map. Ellen DeGeneres didn't even have an episode until 2014 about Dubai and Emirates and all of that. And so, yeah, people just looked at me like I was crazy, like my dreams were crazy, like my bold move was just like, who is she? Like, she'll be back in 3 months. That's what literally one of my best friends told me. You'll be back in 3 months by Christmas. And that not only motivated me, but it didn't feel right. Right. So my intuition was leading me to go to Dubai, to work abroad, to help students study abroad. And it just was something so deeply ingrained in me. Actually, I knew this since high school, you guys. I knew since high school that I loved the college application process because when I went through it myself, I had a guidance counselor, Miss Morris, and she did the best she could because she had 3,000 students to help, and she was the only one in a public high school. But I just found it really exciting and really fun, and I kind of like looked at it as a once in a lifetime opportunity. And ever since then, I kind of just got curious about it and was delighted in that idea. And once I moved to Dubai, I worked in a school and I knew that school was temporary and I knew I wanted to make it work here in Dubai. I just knew on a gut level that this bold move across the globe was meant for me. And a few years later, I literally had my aha moment and it hit me so hard. I was living the life that I always wanted to live. I was helping students study abroad. I was working in a robust, and I still am working in a robust international school with students from literally all over the world who want to go study abroad in other countries. I mean, it blew my mind in that moment when I just told you, I came from an environment that literally showed me no evidence that this was possible. And so I just held on to that vision because I used to daydream about this. I used to literally sit in my car, driving to and from my house, to and from school, work, wherever, and I would daydream about living in a high rise apartment overlooking the city, making money, having a career, helping kids study abroad. Like I couldn't really picture what this would look like, you guys, but I held on to this vision. I actually thought it was going to be in Australia. Funny enough, that's where I really wanted to go, but that didn't happen. That's okay. I made peace with that, and I'm actually really okay with that decision. But I would daydream about this, and I didn't know how this would be possible for somebody like me. And in this industry, you guys, I didn't even know this career of international college counseling existed. Had no clue this was a full-on thing happening already. And when I went to Dubai and I started understanding the international educational landscape, the different curriculums, the different types of secondary schools, the different types of higher educational institutions and the processes, it just became so crystal clear to me that this was my path. This is what I meant to do. And it just kept leading me slowly but surely. And I remember in 2014, I got my first invitation to travel to Milan, to Bocconi, and it was a free trip, you guys, to Italy. Now, mind you, at that point, I had already been to Italy a couple times and I had saved money to go each and every time, but I got to go for a fourth time. Like, who in my world, in my circumstances growing up, has been to Italy even once? And I got an invitation to go to Italy for my fourth time. Like, how? How is this even possible, you guys? And I'm getting to my point. Trust me, just stay with me a little bit longer. But who am I to get these opportunities to travel the world for free? And that was only the beginning. And then I started getting all these invitations for conferences. Then I started getting to know what professional organizations were out there. Then I started getting to know what better job opportunities were out there. And then I started networking with the right kind of people and rubbing elbows with them. And lo and behold, all of these happen because of micro baby steps. But I go back to the Katrina that I was in 2013 or even before 2013. And imagine if I had someone there guiding me, telling me exactly everything I needed to know, where to network, where to look for jobs, where to get, the experience, and cut my timeline into just a couple hours or a couple weeks. I mean, the momentum that I could have had would have saved me a whole decade. Okay. So fast forward, we're now in 2024 when I'm recording this episode. It's now 11 years later. I have such an incredible, transformative life. I mean, I literally travel the world for free to visit universities. I've seen so many countries, so many institutions, so many cities, not once, but multiple times for free, you guys. I literally have an amazing, robust career that I've created. I get to work with incredible people. I get to meet amazing professionals, people from not just the education industry, but other industries as well. I also know how to network and leverage it to my advantage. I know how to light up the room and get to know people and be delighted in who they are. And I also get to help people do the same. I really do. And in these past 10 years, I've learned to be bold. I've learned to be brave. I've learned to get over my bullshit, okay? I've learned to become cosmopolitan and worldly and look at the world and opportunities with opportunities, possibilities, and know that I am deserving in each of every one of these things that come my way, because I didn't even know I needed all of these things to become the woman that I am today, and I still get to become. And I thank myself now for not being afraid, for saying yes, for taking action, and believing in myself. Ultimately, I believed in myself when nobody around me believed in me, you guys. I didn't have my mom or my dad telling me, I believe in you, you got this. They don't even ask. They didn't even ask. They were just like, come home, we want you home. And when I would share good news with them, yeah, they expressed their delight and being proud in me, but I had to believe in myself. And the amount of times I cried because I didn't think I can do it, or I thought I made a mistake, or I thought I went in the wrong direction, you guys, Or I thought, what would my life be like had I stayed in my original circumstances, had I stayed in California, what my life would actually look like if I never left and went to Dubai. I mean, think about that. Think about that. Like, who knows? I have no clue. But I do know this. I created endless professional opportunities and so much more. I created a robust, beautiful lifestyle. I created trust in myself, a belief in myself that's unshakable, that I can do anything. I don't even have to apply for jobs now. People are asking me and hiring me on the spot and offering me jobs left, right, and center. I don't even have to apply. I don't even have to try because I know I add so much value to people's lives. And I know that if you are listening to this, it's because you also have a knowing. You may have been following me. You may have just found me. You may be an educator. You may be a stay-at-home mom. You may be somebody in a different industry looking to get into this line of work or not even knowing this career existed, by the way. But if this is something that feels timely for you, I want to invite you guys to apply for my Confident Counselor coaching program. It is a 3-month intimate experience where we really get to dive deep and to talk more about your circumstances and how I can help you create this beautiful lifestyle to become a college counselor, whether you want to just work in one country or you want to travel the world and you want to have free travel, endless opportunities, collaborations, job offers, confidence. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. I have the method within my program. I have the steps. I have the keys. I have the foresight. I have the wisdom. And the people that have worked with me have had life-changing results. They're now on a different path that they didn't even know they could even have. They didn't even know it was possible for them. And it's happening. It's unfolding. They have the momentum because of the program structure, the support. It's just so delicious, so beautiful, so amazing. And again, I always knew that I wanted to eventually guide adults because this was something that was deep in my heart and I just didn't have the courage at the time. The Katrina 5 years ago didn't have the courage to show up online that I do now. And now I have this unshakable confidence because I know this program works. I know it's going to add value to your life. I know that you're going to get results. I'm not responsible for any of my clients' results. They are responsible, but I am there to support them, give them the guidance, the right container for them to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel like they can bring their fears and vulnerabilities and we talk about it. I mean, the level of support that you get with me is really deep, fast transformation, and you walk out on the other side of this container just feeling like a totally new person. So if this feels timely for you, I really encourage you to apply, jump on a call with me so I can understand where you're at and we can go from there. And I promise, my promise to you is that you are not going to regret it because it is really that life-changing. And if you don't know, I have a coach myself, and I know this because I know what it's like to feel scared to invest. But when you do it, that's when the magic unfolds, when you trust yourself and say, if I don't do this for myself, am I willing to stay stuck? Am I willing to stay in the same place, the stress, the fear, the anxiety, and trying to figure it out myself? Or do I want to trust myself, invest, and get the transformation deeply, fast, quick, because you value your time and money? That's where I came out. Those were my values, my pillars. I valued my time. I valued, the money, and I valued my health and well-being. And let me tell you, it's been an incredible journey for myself. It's been an incredible journey working with my clients and everybody who just comes into my space. They get momentum, they get results. And so I want to invite you. I know it's going to help you. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll leave all of my details below in the show notes. And use your intuition. It's always guiding you. It's always leading you. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. You got this. I'm here. Continue to show up each and every day, no matter how you feel. And tell yourself, believe in yourself that you can do this for fun. This is for fun. All of this is because you get to choose and nobody else has to give you permission. Okay? I love you guys all so much. Thank you for joining today's episode. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Did you love the episode? I hope you're feeling inspired and no longer feeling alone out there and you're ready to evolve and become a better person. Make sure that you share this podcast or take a screenshot and post it on your social media. That's how you help spread this podcast organically, and people can find it much easier when you share, or share it with a loved one. I'm your host, Katrina Marie, and make it your mission to be a blessing in someone else's life today.